What is up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, and we are back with mixing vocals like the pros, part 3. I know it's been a while since I did part 2. I think part 2 was way back in November, and I'm just now doing part 3. Sorry, I've been kind of tied up and busy, but I got a few requests, and I got an email the other day from a guy named Trey Black. Shout out to him. He said he appreciated part 2, and he really wanted me to make part 3. And said, when am I gonna make it? And it just crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And he also sent me some samples and told me to check them out, get some tips. I was like, you know what? I can better, instead of just telling him through email, I'll just make a video to help him out, plus anybody out there who's been waiting on part 3. So sorry for the wait, everybody. I will be doing more regular uploads as y'all seeing. So I will be doing more. So here's part 3. This time we're gonna be talking about effects, and also I kind of redid my vocal chain with the EQ and compression. So I'm gonna show you what I did a little differently from the last video to, you know, get a better sound. So just stay tuned to follow along with that. And but before I start, I'm gonna play the unprocessed vocals again so I can hear what everything sounds unprocessed.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same. I did what I had to do to pay my own way.
Now here's everything processed.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same.
See how it just got louder, crisper, cleaner. I'm gonna show you how I did all that through each little compression EQ technique I did, and then I talked about throwing the effects on it. But first of all, I want to start off by one thing saying mix low. If you can, possibly at all times mix low, meaning turn everything all the way down, turning your monitors all the way up as loud as they can go. Don't turn up too loud, but just turn them up pretty much as loud as they can go, and just bring everything up until you can start hearing it. And then that way you get everything. That way you know at the height, at the loudest level, everything is being heard. So nothing really distorting. You have a lot more headroom in dynamic range. But I will talk about that more in tomorrow's video, which would be Production Fridays, how to mix FL Studio like a console. And I also have a free giveaway that's gonna be pretty cool. If you stay tuned, if you subscribe and check out that video, it's gonna be a free FLP that I'm be giving away that can be very helpful. But that's besides the point. Just remember that mix low at all times. Anyway, let's focus on the vocals now. Here's the vocals unprocessed again, just no beat.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame.
All right, so let me walk you through how I got that vocal sound. Let me save before I forget. All right. First of all, we're gonna start off with my first plugin chain. So I got a lot going on, but each little thing right here going on is doing a little bit of touching up. They're each doing a little bit of adjustments. They're not doing big adjustments, doing a little bit of adjustments, because you want to make everything do little adjustments to make one big picture, pretty much like a building. Every little block makes the building. Without that one block or a few blocks, place fall apart. First off, I start off with an EQ. This is the Red 3 EQ by Fullright. If you own anything Fullright, I suggest going to their website and getting this for free, because if you buy a Scarlet or Sapphire or whatever Fullright, you automatically get this for free on their website. I think it's like a $300 value, so it's well worth the buy because it models their old classic gear that costs like $4,000, $5,000. So I mean, free versus $4,000. Okay, you get the idea. And plus it's virtual, so you can have as many of them as you want instead of having just one and buy more than what I'm saying. Y'all get the picture. But anyway, this compression's not really doing nothing. I'm doing about 2-to-1 ratio, a fast attack, slow release, a little bit of threshold, and then a little bit of make gain. Like my threshold, I think is getting about 5 dB of gain reduction. Let me check. Yeah, about 5 dB of gain reduction. And like I said, you can do this with any EQ. Any compressor you want, whether it be Waves, UAD, FL Studio, or anybody else out there who makes compressors. Just, try to be subtle with pretty much they all had the same attack, release, threshold, gain ratio. Just try to get about 5 decibels of gain reduction, and try to stay in between 2-to-1 and 3-to-1. More than that, it's going to be really heavily compressed and sound very muffled and distorted. And also, if it has a parallel compression or wet dry knob, I love parallel compression. I talked about it in my other videos. I love it. You know, if your plugin come with it, use it. And that's kind of added about 80%. Yeah, about 80% of dry signal. So 80% is, I think 80% wet and 20% dry. So just a little bit of dry signal coming through. So here's before and after.
Back up in this game.
And here's after.
Back up in this
It's a
game.
very subtle. Oh, excuse me. Very subtle, but it makes a big difference in the long run. I say all this compressor is doing is taming everything together and keeping everything cohesive. That's all that's doing. All right, time to move into the next plugin. My high pass and low pass filter, this is just a basic, you know, stock EQ, parametric EQ2, and it's just rolling out the lows and some of the highs. That's all it's doing. It's doing nothing else, nothing surgical, nothing additive. Just that's it. See.
Back up in
As you
this
can
game.
see, I have no vocal signal frequencies of my vocals in this area and in this area, so I just cut them off because I don't need them, and it frees up room for my bass drum and kick drum and all them low frequencies that need that extra room. It just clears it up for them so they can cut through the mix as well. So here's before and after.
Back up in this game.
After.
Back up in
As you
this
can
game.
see, it cleans it up. It really cleans it up and makes it more focused in. That's what you want. All right, moving to my next EQ. I'm sorry if I'm going fast by this, but I'm trying to cover a lot in this video in a short amount of time. But I'm still gonna try, you know, break everything down best I can. My next is my surgical EQ. Basically another FL Studio EQ, but this time I'm cutting them harsh frequencies. And what I mean by the harsh frequencies, frequencies that really stick out, like the mud frequency, the high end frequency, that very nasally frequency. I'm cutting them out, the ones I don't like, which I only found about, I usually cut about 2 bands, but this one I did 3 just for the purpose of the video. But this is what it sounds like without it.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on. Back up in this game. Everybody hating
You
on
see
me,
it's
man.
a lot cleaner. It's a lot more focused, and you can, you know, it's just not as muddy as without it. And what I basically did, I just pretty much raised the Q all the way up like this. I narrowed the band, and I just started. I don't want to mess that one up. I'll use this one for example. I kind of narrowed the Q, and I just kind of swept around like.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man.
See, that's kind of a piercing frequency, so I want to, I could just cut it out. And then I just kind of make it still kind of narrow, but not as narrow. You don't want a wide band. You want kind of a narrow band. Probably about like here, I think it's like about like a 2Q. Yeah, about like a 2. You want it kind of narrow. Like remember, when you're cutting, you want a narrow cut. And when you're boosting, you want a wide cut. Because when you boost, you want it to sound natural. And when you cut, you want just to cut out the frequency that you don't want. But I'll just take that away. Don't need that. And that's pretty much all they're doing. I just boosted them up, swept around, found what frequencies I didn't like that sounded too sharp or too whistly or too boomy or anything like that. And I cut them out. I used about, I think, 4 decibels of cut. Like I don't really like going over 4 decibels. I like to stay between 2 and 4 decibels of cutting, because too much cutting, then you just kind of sucking the life out of the actual whatever sound source you're using. So pretty much I cut out the mud area, a little bit of I think like telephone effect sound and stuff.
Back up in this game.
And then I cut out where all that high frequency is building up.
Back up in this game.
That's a good way to getting all them high S's and stuff out. And there's really no frequencies I can tell you to cut. Like, I can't tell you go cut 400 hertz or cut 3,000, 3K. I can't tell you that because it's different for each vocalist, each microphone, each room you're in, each recording. So there is no preset to automatically fix that. So get that out your head. There is no presets that will fix your mixing. Mixing is basically meaning you have to do it yourself. Presets will not help you. So if you like to rely on presets, you're in the wrong video, because presets will not help you. Like, I mean, they might work on some sounds, but most time They don't. They're good starting points, but you really want to learn what each individual thing does to really get the best result and sound like the pros. If you want to sound like the pros, you got to learn how to mix, point blank, period. All right, on to the next effect. It's another compressor, and this was made by Native Instruments. It's the VC-A2A. Basically, it is a recreation of the LA2A, which is a very popular compressor. I wish I had me the hardware version because it's an amazing compressor for vocals. Like for vocals, it's like one of the best compressors ever made, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinions. But it's very simple compressor. I think Waves make it, UAD make it, and like I said, Native Instruments making a couple of other companies probably make a clone of it. But I mean, it's simple. It's just two knobs. You got your gain reduction and you got your makeup gain. So basically, I got I think I'm getting about 3 dB of gain reduction, and I'm just boosting it up 3 dB. And that just gives it a more fuller sound. Like here's before and after.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man.
And here's after.
Back up in this game. Everybody
Very
hating on
subtle,
me.
not doing a whole lot of compression, but it's there to makes it fuller, makes that bottom end fuller, makes my voice sound fuller, and that's what you want. But remember, you can do this with any compressor. I think the LA2A has a very slow attack and slow release, and it's like a 2-to-1 ratio, a very gentle ratio. So if you got a compressor, just remember, if you want to do secondary compressor, I advise always use 2 compressors. Have one main compressor to tame it, and then have a second compressor to add to it. It always works. A lot of pros use 2 compressors. They'll have one compressor going in, and then they have an extra compressor on their bus, and that's just how it works. That get that pro sound. You need little, like I said, 2 compressors doing one thing, doing one job. They both doing a little bit to make one big job. So if you want to do this with a different compressor, just keep a slow attack, slow release, and very gentle ratio, and just get very little 3 to 5 decibels of gain reduction, and then just boost it up. And it also has a parallel compression thing on here. If I add more, if I like about this one, because it has parallel compression, which I love parallel compression. So remember that. All right, that's it. That's the second compressor. Now I go to my additive EQ, which is the red EQ2 by Fullright. Like I said, it's free if you got Fullright stuff, or spend $300 and buy it, or spend $4,000 and get the real thing. It's up to you, wherever your pockets are. But basically, this EQ, I'm doing nothing but adding some air, adding some high frequencies, around 12K, and I'm getting about 2 dB of high frequencies just to give it that sheen and polish. You don't have to do this. Just all suggested. If you want to do, if you don't, hey, skip it. But I did it just for the fact I wanted a little more presence in my and a little bit more air in my vocals. So here's before.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating. Back up in this game. Everybody hating.
Bit extra sheen in the top end. It's very subtle, but it makes a difference in the long run, especially in context with the beat.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man.
Here's before without it.
Back up in this game.
And here's with it.
Back up in this
you
game.
See, it just cuts through the beat better. And that's how it is. You can do this if you want to. A lot of people don't add high end. A lot of people do. It depends on the beat, the vocals, and your taste, the mixing. But that's very suggestive if you want to do it or not. But I do it. And that's pretty much it. Now we'll go back to before all this is added in there, and then after.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame.
It's a whole lot better. It sits better in the mix. It's a little bit louder, so I can bring it down some more to blend it more in the mix. But excuse me, overall, it's good. Overall, it's nicely mixed. It's nicely, and like I say, it's just little bitty effects building up to the main part. Anyway, besides that, get to the part that y'all really want to know about: adding effects, delay, reverb, whatever. But remember, At this point, you do what you want to do. You make the sound you want to make. Point blank, period. You can add auto-tune, flangers, phasers, reverb, delay, distortion, whatever you want to add at this point. This is up to you. Me personally, I just do delay and reverb unless I'm doing some special effect like a telephone effect, something like that. But I'm gonna stick to delay and reverb for right now. But remember, you can completely do whatever you want at this point. This is the part where you're really the engineer. First, I'm gonna start off with delay. I'm using just a Fruity Delay 2, basic delay, nothing special. First thing I'd like to do is like to figure out like what time I want, because usually it starts out I'm good default, just default sound.
Back up in this
No, that's not gonna work. You know it's not gonna work. I know it's not gonna work. So first I want to get the timing right for the delays. I can right click delay, go to set, and I can set how many steps I want. I'm gonna use, I think, 3 steps.
back up in this gang.
Okay, let me try 4 steps.
Back up in this gang.
I think it worked. That's pretty nice. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do that 4 steps. I'm gonna use 4 steps because it's just different. I'm gonna bring the volume down to the feedback. Don't want it too much. Don't want too little.
Back up in this gang.
Yeah, that's good right there. And then I'm just gonna cut some of the frequencies, the high frequencies off. Now, a lot of delays give you the ability to do a high cut and a low cut. I advise using them. Like usually cut around 400 hertz and about 3,000 K. Because you don't want your delays mixing with the main vocals and distracting people. So you really want them to have, you really want the main focus of the vocal to stick out, but delay just be there just to add a little flavor.
Back up in this gang. Everybody hating on me, man.
That's good. That's perfect. I like that. Now the last thing to do is just to turn my delay down, and usually they have a wet dry knob. I'm doing the same thing right here. I'm just gonna turn it down to about, I like to do between 10 and 20% of delay, and I'll show you why. Here it is with it.
Back up in this gang. Everybody,
you can hear it, but it's not in your face. And here's without it. This is what it sounds like with no delay.
back up in this gang.
It just loses that life and that energy behind it. So with it,
back up in this gang. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never
go probably even lower, probably about 5%.
Back up in this gang.
Sounds great. And see, just a little bit of delay goes a long way. If I'm trying to show y'all, don't put so much on there unless you know it's a singing part or something like that. You want that long tail, but usually for rap vocals, you want just a little bit delay, and it really makes the vocals feel more alive and full, if you understand what I'm saying. And the last thing I'm gonna do is add in my reverb. I'm just using the Scarlett Reverb by Fullright, free plugin. When you buy the interfaces, they give you just automatically. And I just kind of set it to a large room, kind of low pre-delay. You ain't really gotta worry about that. The air just brighten it up, and then I used about 20% of dry. Now you don't want it super wet like this. This is too wet.
Back up in this gang.
You don't want to sound like you're in the bathroom, but you want to kind of just bring it down.
Back up in this gang. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same. I did what I had to do.
It makes it a lot more fuller and fills out the rest of the mix. Here's before and after.
Back up in this gang. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same. I did what I had to do to pay.
So it just kind of feels that, but be careful with reverb. Too much reverb will make your sound very muddy. Cause I know a lot of people who use a lot of reverb and it sounds completely like shit. It just does, because it's very muddy and very crappy. So please be careful when using reverb. Don't put too much in there, but don't have too little where you don't even hear the effect. So just be careful with that. And that's pretty much it. As you see, all my effects are doing little by little, but making a very polished, clean sound. I'm gonna play you the before with no processing and then the after with processing.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same.
With processing.
Back up in this game. Everybody hating on me, man. Their fault, man. It just lame. Never been the same. I did what I had to do to pay my own way. So if you don't like me, that's why I got say, boy, I be on. Hating on
As
me.
you see, a little bit goes a long way with mixing. That's what a lot of mixing engineers do, like myself and others. A little bit goes a long way. And that's pretty much it. I mean, just showing y'all that if you take these little bitty steps to mixing and mastering or mixing your vocals, you get a big result. And like I said, I'll be happy to go into more in-depth compression tutorials and EQ tutorials and delay tutorials, some cool effects and reverb, blah, blah, blah. Just hit me up, rate, comment, subscribe, let me know. Because like I said, I'm not motivated by the money. I'm motivated by like, comments, subscribes, and views. So if I can get them and y'all let me know what y'all want me to do, I'll be happy to go through and make a video for you. Like I said, this guy Trey Black, he hit me up on my email and I went ahead and made a video for it. He hit me up yesterday and I made a video today. So that's what it is. Just hit me up. I'll read all my stuff. I comment back. I'll let y'all know. I try to help out as much as I can. You just gotta let me know. If you don't let me know, I can't engage with y'all if y'all don't let me know what y'all want. At that point, I'm just making videos based off what I see or learn or some technique. But if y'all want something right away, let me know and I'll be sure to get on it ASAP. But anyway, it's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. I hope this video helped y'all get them great pro level sounding vocals that y'all been trying to get. I hope it helps you out. If you got any questions, comments, please, like I say, hit me up, email me. I'm always free. I'll be happy to answer anything that I can and make a video to anything I can if y'all want to know more. But anyway, it's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. You've been watching Mr. Different TV, and I'm out. See y'all next video.